We begin with a growing wildfire burning along the Grand Canyon's north rim.
The sudden announcement of a red alert from the United States Geological Survey connected to the Grand Canyon has sent shockwaves across scientific circles and beyond. The revelation that a magma chamber lies hidden beneath one of the most iconic natural wonders of the world forces an immediate reevaluation of how this landscape is understood. The Grand Canyon, long celebrated for its layered history of rock and water-carved beauty, is now tied to something far more volatile: the dynamic forces of Earth's deep interior. The existence of this massive underground reservoir of molten rock introduces an entirely new dimension to the story of the canyon, one that blends awe with uncertainty. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The Grand Canyon has always been a monument to time, its walls displaying nearly 2 billion years of geological history. For decades, geologists viewed it primarily as a window into the past, a place where ancient rocks reveal secrets about Earth's early development. Yet, the identification of an active magma chamber beneath it flips that narrative. Instead of being solely a relic of ancient processes, the canyon becomes part of a living system, still shaped by the restless movement of Earth's crust and mantle. This discovery transforms it from a static marvel into a dynamic, potentially dangerous environment. The implications extend well beyond geology, sparking questions about risk, monitoring, and the deeper mysteries of planetary behavior. The term red alert itself carries weight. It signifies not just discovery, but urgency. For the USGS to issue such a warning indicates that the presence of the magma chamber is not a mere curiosity. It suggests activity, heat, pressure, and movement, strong enough to merit immediate attention. A magma chamber beneath the Grand Canyon is not the same as one beneath an isolated volcanic peak. Here, the geology is complex, the layers vast and fragile, and the surrounding landscape populated by millions of visitors each year. The juxtaposition of serene beauty above ground and potential chaos below it captures the essence of Earth's unpredictability. This moment underscores how even places perceived as timeless and unchanging can harbor forces capable of rewriting their stories overnight. The scientific ramifications are profound. A magma chamber means molten rock is present at depths that could feed volcanic activity. While the Grand Canyon has no record of recent eruptions, the region is not geologically quiet. Northern Arizona is part of a broader volcanic province that has witnessed eruptions over the last several million years. Lava fields, cinder cones, and basalt flows scattered across the landscape testify to a fiery past. The chamber beneath the canyon may be a remnant of this volcanism, or it may signal renewed activity in the making. Either way, it ties the canyon into a broader geological system, one where tectonics and volcanism intersect. This forces researchers to reconsider regional stability and ask what role the canyon might play in future volcanic or seismic events. Beyond pure science, the cultural and symbolic weight of the Grand Canyon magnifies the discovery. For countless people, the canyon is a sacred site, a natural cathedral carved by water and time. To imagine it connected to an underground reservoir of fire evokes a blend of mythic imagery and real-world danger. Indigenous peoples who have long regarded the canyon as central to their cosmologies may see deep resonance in the idea of fire beneath stone, a reminder of Earth's living spirit. For modern society, the canyon has been a place of recreation, tourism, and wonder. That it now sits atop a reservoir of molten rock complicates its identity. The interplay of cultural reverence, scientific discovery, and potential hazard makes this moment uniquely charged. The mechanics of a magma chamber invite detailed scrutiny. Such chambers are zones where molten rock accumulates, often feeding volcanic systems above them. They can remain dormant for centuries, gradually shifting in size, temperature, and pressure. In some cases, they cool and solidify without incident. In others, they trigger catastrophic eruptions when pressure builds beyond containment. Understanding which path the Grand Canyon's chamber might take requires sophisticated monitoring. Seismic sensors must track tremors, GPS stations must detect ground deformation, and gas emissions must be studied for clues of rising magma. Each data point adds to a picture of what lies beneath, but the margin of uncertainty remains large. That uncertainty is precisely why the red alert matters. It is a call to vigilance in the face of incomplete knowledge. The location of the chamber beneath such a vast and fragile structure raises unique concerns. The Grand Canyon is defined by its layered rocks, many of them brittle, fractured, and susceptible to collapse. If heat or pressure from the chamber were to alter these layers, the structural integrity of canyon walls could change in unpredictable ways. While an eruption may not be imminent, smaller effects like increased geothermal activity, shifting groundwater patterns, or localized quakes could reshape parts of the canyon. These possibilities force planners, scientists, and policymakers to think about long-term strategies for protection, safety, and adaptation. The canyon is not only a natural wonder, but also a critical part of Arizona's economy, drawing millions of tourists each year. Protecting lives while preserving the canyon's majesty will be a delicate balancing act. This discovery also broadens the conversation about the American Southwest's geological future. The region has long been defined by extremes: deserts, mountains, plateaus, and fault lines, all converging in a landscape of striking contrasts. Volcanic features dot the terrain, and earthquakes, though less frequent than in California, are not unheard of. Adding a magma chamber beneath the Grand Canyon suggests that the forces shaping this land are far from dormant. It means that the Southwest is not simply a landscape of erosion and aridity, but also one of heat, pressure, and deep earth dynamism. Such a realization has implications for how the region is studied, how hazards are assessed, and how people imagine their relationship to the land they inhabit. The global scientific community is likely to respond with intense interest. The Grand Canyon has always been a destination for geologists, but now volcanologists, seismologists, and hazard experts will be drawn into the dialogue. International teams may seek to collaborate on monitoring and modeling efforts. Comparing the canyon's magma chamber to those in other famous sites, like Yellowstone, Iceland, or Hawaii, could reveal similarities and differences that refine theories of magma dynamics. The canyon could become a natural laboratory, offering insights not only about itself, but about volcanic systems worldwide. Such research might even advance understanding of planetary volcanism beyond Earth, as scientists draw parallels to features observed on Mars or Venus. In this way, the discovery links a beloved national park to the grandest scales of planetary science. From a technological standpoint, the discovery may accelerate innovation. Detecting and studying a magma chamber beneath such a complex terrain is no small feat. It requires cutting-edge imaging techniques, from seismic tomography to satellite-based interferometry. As scientists strive to refine these tools, the Grand Canyon may serve as a proving ground for new methods of probing Earth's interior. These advances could later be applied elsewhere, enhancing the ability to forecast volcanic activity in other high-risk regions. The challenge of monitoring such a chamber beneath a national park, where intrusive exploration must be limited, adds further complexity. Non-invasive techniques will be prioritized, and these constraints may inspire creative solutions that push the field forward. The psychological and emotional dimension of this revelation cannot be ignored. For many people, the Grand Canyon embodies stability, permanence, and grandeur. It is a place where visitors stand on the rim and feel dwarfed by deep time. To learn that beneath this monument lies molten rock waiting in silence alters that perception. It injects an element of impermanence, even fragility, into a symbol of endurance. This shift in perception is not necessarily negative. It can deepen appreciation for the canyon as not just a relic, but a living, evolving system. Yet it also sparks unease. The word magma carries associations of eruption, lava, and destruction. Balancing these fears with scientific understanding will be part of the ongoing dialogue as news of the red alert spreads. The political and administrative implications are equally complex. The Grand Canyon is managed by the National Park Service, but the discovery of a magma chamber involves agencies like the USGS, FEMA, and state authorities. Coordination between these bodies will be crucial in shaping policies for monitoring, public communication, and potential emergency response. The declaration of a red alert signals that such coordination is already underway, but the scale of the challenge is immense. Evacuation plans, infrastructure assessments, and risk communication strategies may need to be developed or revised. At the same time, stakeholders must guard against unnecessary panic. Clear, transparent messaging will be key to ensuring public trust without downplaying genuine risks. The broader lesson of this discovery lies in its reminder of Earth's hidden dynamism. For all the advances in science, vast portions of the planet's interior remain mysterious. The sudden identification of a magma chamber beneath one of the world's most studied landscapes underscores how much remains unseen. It is a humbling reminder that even in places mapped, photographed, and toured by millions, surprises wait beneath the surface. This humility can inspire renewed curiosity and respect for the planet. It emphasizes the need for continued investment in Earth sciences, both for the sake of knowledge and for the practical necessity of hazard preparedness. As the red alert reverberates, it is worth remembering that Earth has always been a balance of creation and destruction. The very canyon now under scrutiny was shaped by forces both gentle and violent, rivers carving stone, tectonics lifting plateaus, and in deep time, volcanism shaping the region. The discovery of a magma chamber is not an alien intrusion into this story, but a continuation of it. The canyon has always been a product of fire and water, of uplift and erosion. Recognizing the chamber beneath it adds depth to that narrative. It reminds us that the canyon is not just a monument to what has been, but also to what continues. The implications extend far into the future. While the immediate concern may be monitoring and safety, the larger picture is one of ongoing transformation. The Grand Canyon, like Earth itself, is unfinished. The forces beneath it will continue to evolve, whether quietly solidifying into rock or building toward future upheaval. Humanity's role is to watch, to learn, and to adapt. The red alert is not just a warning of danger. It is an invitation to deepen engagement with the living planet. It is a call to recognize that beneath the most stable-seeming landscapes lies a restless energy that connects all life to the dynamic heart of the Earth. The revelation that a magma chamber lies beneath the Grand Canyon has set off a wave of questions and discussions that reach far beyond geology alone. When the United States Geological Survey marked its findings with a red alert, the significance extended into many domains. The future of Earth sciences, the relationship between humans and landscapes, and the shifting understanding of what the Grand Canyon represents. Far from an isolated scientific discovery, this announcement is a catalyst for an immense reconsideration of how natural wonders are framed within human thought, governance, and imagination. The idea that a chamber of molten rock simmers beneath a canyon carved through nearly 2 billion years of geological layers demands not just a scientific response, but a cultural, social, and even philosophical reckoning. The scientific dialogue immediately intensifies. For decades, the Grand Canyon was primarily studied as a monument to erosion and the passage of time, with researchers poring over its rock layers to piece together the story of Earth's earliest eras. Now, the subterranean presence of magma shifts the spotlight to processes happening in real time. Scientists accustomed to working with fossils, sediments, and minerals must integrate their expertise with volcanologists and seismologists who analyze living systems of fire and pressure. This interdisciplinary collaboration could transform not only the study of the canyon itself, but also the methods by which we approach complex geological landscapes. It becomes a stage on which multiple scientific disciplines converge, each adding perspective to a phenomenon that no single field can fully explain. The canyon, therefore, becomes something of a paradox, a place where the past and the present exist side by side. On the surface, cliffs and mesas narrate events from eons gone by, while below, molten rock pulses with energy that could shape the future. This duality has profound implications for how natural history is taught, understood, and appreciated. School children who once viewed the Grand Canyon as the ultimate example of deep time must now learn that it is also a participant in Earth's ongoing dynamism. Museums, textbooks, and educational programs may need to adapt, presenting the canyon not only as a relic of erosion, but as part of a living planetary system that is neither static nor predictable. The cultural implications stretch even further. The Grand Canyon is not merely a geological site. It is woven into the identity of the American landscape. To millions of people, it symbolizes permanence, vastness, and continuity. Families stand at its rim to marvel at its immensity. Artists seek inspiration from its layered walls, and writers evoke it as a metaphor for eternity. The introduction of a magma chamber beneath this icon unsettles that symbolism. What was once taken as a metaphor for timelessness now becomes an emblem of hidden instability. In literature and art, the canyon may no longer appear only as an immovable monument, but as a reminder of Earth's volatility and mystery. This could generate a new wave of artistic interpretations, from paintings that emphasize the fiery depths below to poems that capture the tension between beauty and potential destruction. The impact on indigenous perspectives is particularly important. Long before scientists began probing its depths, the canyon was sacred to many native nations, including the Hopi, Navajo, Havasupai, Zuni, and others. Stories and traditions describe the canyon as a place of origin, a spiritual homeland, or a connection between worlds. The discovery of fire beneath its foundations could resonate deeply with these traditions, reinforcing ideas of Earth as a living entity. For communities that already hold the canyon as sacred, the magma chamber may be understood not only as a scientific fact, but as confirmation of long-held beliefs about the canyon's power and vitality. How these communities integrate the discovery into their cultural narratives will be a significant aspect of the story, deserving of careful listening and respect. Tourism, which is central to the Grand Canyon's identity in modern times, faces its own transformation. Each year, millions of visitors from around the world travel to Arizona to witness the canyon's grandeur. The revelation of a magma chamber beneath their feet adds a new dimension to their experience. Some may be drawn by curiosity, eager to glimpse a landscape now connected to underground fire. Others may feel unease, questioning the safety of visiting a place under geological red alert. Tourism agencies, park rangers, and local businesses will need to navigate this shift, finding ways to communicate the facts without discouraging visitors or creating unnecessary panic. Interpretive programs may expand to include volcanic science alongside geology, offering tourists a richer, if more sobering, understanding of the land they stand upon. Economically, the implications ripple outward. The Grand Canyon is not only a site of wonder, but also a cornerstone of Arizona's economy. Hotels, restaurants, transport services, and tour operators all depend on the steady stream of visitors drawn to the canyon. With news of a magma chamber, investors and business owners may wonder whether tourism will decline, shift, or perhaps even increase due to heightened global interest. Curiosity can drive travel as much as beauty, and the idea of standing above a magma chamber could be a powerful attraction in its own right. How this balances against fear will shape the economic trajectory of the region in the coming years. The discovery also provokes deeper questions about human settlement in the American Southwest. Towns, cities, and infrastructure have developed around the assumption that the canyon is stable. Roads, bridges, power lines, and water systems all operate in the shadow of its cliffs. If subterranean magma suggests potential for increased seismic or geothermal activity, planners may need to reevaluate long-term strategies. Should new structures be built with volcanic risks in mind? Should water systems be adapted in case geothermal changes affect underground aquifers? These are not abstract questions, but practical ones that could influence policy, funding, and development for decades to come. From a global perspective, the discovery situates the Grand Canyon alongside some of the world's most famous volcanic and geothermal systems. Yellowstone's massive caldera, Iceland's volcanic rifts, and Hawaii's lava flows have long captured public attention. Now, the Grand Canyon joins this list in a surprising way. This association elevates its profile within international scientific circles and may make it a focal point for comparative studies. Scientists could begin asking how the canyon's magma chamber differs from Yellowstone's supervolcano, or what similarities it shares with volcanic systems along tectonic boundaries. Such comparisons may reveal insights not only into the canyon, but into the broader dynamics of Earth's crust. Technological innovation will play a crucial role in exploring these questions. The very act of detecting a magma chamber beneath such complex terrain demonstrates how advanced seismic and imaging techniques have become. Yet the discovery also highlights the limits of current knowledge. To truly understand the size, depth, and behavior of the chamber, new tools may be required. Satellite systems capable of measuring minute shifts in the Earth's surface, drones that can detect thermal anomalies, and advanced computing models to simulate magma movement could all become central to the research effort. The Grand Canyon may serve as both subject and catalyst, pushing technology forward in ways that extend far beyond this single site. At the same time, the discovery stirs philosophical reflections about humanity's place on Earth. For centuries, people have marveled at the Grand Canyon as proof of natural grandeur, as though it were a stable monument to forces that had long since passed. The magma chamber breaks this illusion. It reminds us that the earth beneath our feet is never fully still, never entirely finished. To stand at the rim of the canyon is now to contemplate not only the deep past, but the living, shifting present. This recognition can alter the human relationship to nature, fostering a sense of humility and awe in the face of processes that lie beyond control. It challenges the tendency to view landscapes as static backdrops and instead emphasizes their participation in ongoing planetary change. Educational institutions will seize upon this moment as an opportunity. Universities and research centers may launch new programs focused on the interplay of erosion and volcanism, geology, and hazard science. Field trips to the Grand Canyon may expand in scope, with students now trained to consider both the ancient story written in the rocks and the living story unfolding below them. Graduate theses, dissertations, and entire careers could be built around the study of this single phenomenon. In this way, the discovery not only deepens knowledge but also cultivates a new generation of scientists attuned to Earth's hidden complexities. The media, too, will shape public perception. Headlines about magma chambers and red alerts naturally stir fear, yet they also capture imagination. Documentaries, news specials, and popular science articles will proliferate, each framing the discovery in different ways. Some may emphasize the danger, portraying the canyon as a potential site of future eruption. Others may highlight the wonder, marveling at the fact that even in the most studied landscapes, secrets remain. The narrative that emerges will influence how the public engages with the canyon, whether as a place of peril, curiosity, or both. The international resonance of this event cannot be understated. The Grand Canyon is not merely an American landmark. It is a global one, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Visitors from across the planet come to witness its vastness, and now its story intersects with questions of planetary science. Scientists in Europe, Asia, and Africa will follow the developments closely, perhaps drawing parallels to geological systems in their own regions. The idea of a magma chamber beneath the canyon connects the local with the global, reminding all people that Earth's forces are shared, universal, and interconnected. Ethically, the discovery raises pressing questions about transparency, risk communication, and stewardship. What responsibility do agencies have in conveying the risks associated with a magma chamber to the public? How can they balance honesty with reassurance? The decision to issue a red alert signals a commitment to transparency, but it also brings with it the burden of maintaining calm and clarity in the face of fear. Officials must carefully craft messages that neither exaggerate nor minimize the situation, ensuring that the public is informed without being misled. This balance is delicate and demands constant vigilance. The discovery also intersects with the climate crisis in subtle ways. While magma chambers and volcanic activity are not directly caused by human-induced climate change, the broader context of environmental stress amplifies their significance. Populations already grappling with droughts, heat waves, and resource scarcity in the Southwest may feel especially vulnerable to news of subterranean instability. The combination of climate challenges and geological hazards underscores the necessity of resilience planning that accounts for multiple overlapping risks. The Grand Canyon's magma chamber becomes part of this larger conversation about how societies prepare for uncertain futures. In literature and philosophy, the discovery may inspire a renaissance of thought about fire, earth, and transformation. Writers may see in the magma chamber a metaphor for hidden potential, for the energy that lies beneath surfaces, unseen yet powerful. Philosophers may ponder the lesson of impermanence that it teaches, that even the most ancient and seemingly immutable places are subject to change. This could enrich not only academic discourse but also the public imagination, deepening the symbolic resonance of the canyon as more than a static wonder. As scientists continue their work, one of the most pressing questions will be the scale of the chamber itself. Is it small and localized, or vast enough to rival other major volcanic systems? Understanding its dimensions could take years of careful study, but even preliminary findings will influence how it is perceived. A smaller chamber may suggest limited risk, but still provide valuable insight into regional geology. A larger one could elevate the canyon to global prominence as a site of active volcanic interest. Either way, the process of unraveling this mystery ensures that the Grand Canyon will remain at the center of scientific attention for years to come. The announcement of a magma chamber beneath the Grand Canyon continues to reverberate through every sphere of discussion, reaching into places that extend far beyond the sciences. When an institution as respected as the USGS raises a red alert, the event becomes more than a geological finding. It becomes a story with tendrils stretching into politics, ethics, art, technology, and even spirituality. To extend the conversation further means exploring the less obvious but equally important implications of such a discovery, those that lie at the intersections of human life, culture, and imagination. One of the most striking aspects of this revelation is how it alters humanity's relationship to landscapes of wonder. The Grand Canyon has long been considered a stage for human reflection, where people seek both silence and sublimity. Photographers frame its golden cliffs, hikers descend into its winding depths, and countless visitors stand at the rim to contemplate its sheer scale. Now, awareness of magma lurking below adds a dimension of invisible drama to these experiences. A visit is no longer solely an encounter with stone and light. It is also an encounter with a fiery reservoir hidden in the Earth's crust. This hiddenness itself becomes a powerful motif. How much of what we admire on the surface conceals forces far more potent than we imagine? The canyon has always been a canvas for contemplating time. It now becomes a canvas for contemplating the unseen. This discovery also touches the future of planetary exploration. One of the goals of planetary science has been to compare Earth's processes with those observed on other planets and moons. Mars, for instance, bears immense canyons such as Valles Marineris, an evidence of volcanic activity in places like Olympus Mons. The combination of canyon and magma chamber beneath the Grand Canyon invites scientists to think in comparative terms. Could similar features exist on Mars, where canyon formation and volcanism overlapped? Studying the Grand Canyon in this light may provide analogs for interpreting extraterrestrial geology, helping us piece together stories of planetary evolution beyond Earth. This link between Earth's present discovery and space science transforms the canyon into a bridge between worlds. Architecture and engineering are also influenced by such findings. Though the Grand Canyon itself is not heavily urbanized, the surrounding region contains towns, infrastructure, and facilities that depend on geological stability. Engineers will likely revisit construction codes, particularly for structures like visitor centers, observation platforms, and trails. Safety becomes a primary concern, and that could inspire innovations in design. Imagine new forms of architecture capable of withstanding subtle ground shifts or vibration-sensitive buildings that automatically adjust to tremors. The discovery of magma does not only awaken geological interest, it can drive technological progress in how humans build within dynamic environments. In another realm, the field of psychology gains fresh ground for study. Human reactions to geological hazards are diverse, often blending rational assessment with deep-seated fear. The idea that something as iconic as the Grand Canyon harbors a magma chamber may trigger anxieties disproportionate to the actual risk. Psychologists studying risk perception could use this case to understand how people internalize the difference between hidden threats versus visible ones. While lava flowing down a volcano is tangible, magma beneath a canyon is invisible, abstract, and thus perhaps more unsettling. The Grand Canyon's new status offers a unique laboratory for studying how humans cope with uncertainty and unseen danger. Education in the humanities, too, can be transformed by this news. Philosophy classrooms might use the magma chamber as a case study in metaphysics, asking what it means for something to be hidden yet real, powerful yet unseen. Literature classes might analyze how natural features gain symbolic weight when science reveals unexpected truths about them. The Grand Canyon, already a symbol of endurance, may now enter works of fiction and poetry as a symbol of concealed energy or suppressed power. Writers may find in it metaphors for human emotion, political forces, or cultural change, all processes where immense pressure builds beneath the surface before breaking into the open. There is also a dimension of diplomacy that emerges. The Grand Canyon attracts millions of international visitors annually, and any potential risk at the site carries global relevance. Foreign governments may begin to issue travel advisories, and embassies might request detailed updates from American authorities. This fosters international dialogue on geological monitoring and hazard preparedness. The discovery becomes not just a national issue, but part of the global conversation about how countries communicate and cooperate in the face of natural risks. Lessons learned at the canyon could be shared with regions in other countries facing their own volcanic uncertainties, strengthening networks of scientific and political collaboration. Insurance industries are another arena where the discovery may have impact. The presence of magma beneath such a world-renowned site forces insurers to calculate new risk categories for businesses, infrastructure, and even tourism operations near the canyon. Policies may shift, premiums may rise, and risk models will be rewritten. While this may seem like a technical adjustment, it actually influences livelihoods in subtle ways, determining how affordable it is for businesses to operate or how attractive it is for investors to back projects in the region. The magma chamber thus becomes an economic variable, shaping financial decisions in ways that few would have imagined before its discovery. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on magma under the Grand Canyon? Dangerous or overblown? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.